Hey everyone, welcome back. As you can see, we made it through the World Cup break and have gotten into a little bit of January, mostly just playing our friendlies, which have given us some pretty good selection issues, just some players that have stood out. Won our first game back in the Bundesliga against Hamburger, advanced past the third round of the Cup, and now getting ready to play Freiburg in a match that could be tough for us. They're in third place right now. Right now, we're sitting in fifth. It's a little bit tough to figure out where we could end up with the games in hand. But I think pretty comfortably right now in the Europa League places, which would I think be definitely a good success for us. Not too much of a change in the tactics, but did make a couple. Right now, playing an anchor man in this uh, defensive spot in the midfield, partially just to try to avoid cards by not having the tackle harder instruction on all the time, and then change the right forward over to winger, just to give us better spacing instead of having everybody up the middle on every attack. But outside of that, and then this is the one selection uh, issue, if I want to say that, that we've had coming out of the friendlies is Khan Bozdogan, central midfielder. Has always been a good high potential player, but hasn't really been in our plans. But performing well in the friendlies, and now we do have an injury in the midfield too, so giving him a chance to start some games. And we're just going to jump right into this one and see how we can fare against a team that's been playing pretty well. And so obviously the formation we just looked at for us, and them going with the 4-4-2, which I think we're pretty well set to handle with that defensive midfield in the anchorman spot, especially. I think even though it didn't turn into anything, that's the little bit of a different dimension we've had since changing to a winger and moving to having Matondo over there pretty much full time as much as we can is just his speed going past defenders and then just having that threat down the right wing that we didn't have before. And there again doesn't end up getting in the net, but he's been really good for us just finding those channels, even set on wingers, still finding those channels to get inside and get through balls. Pretty good start for us, a few minutes in and already a couple good shots, neither one making on target, but overall pretty good performance at the very beginning. A lot of highlights early in this game, which for us is probably the underdog. Maybe not ideally what we'd like to see, but we've had the majority, and then even here where it's their highlight, we're still they get a good shot on that, but I think we were in good position to limit that as much as we could. bad giveaway there by Boulter. Gives away possession where we could have been dangerous. Now, really bad giveaway by Phillips that we're lucky didn't turn into a goal. Definitely a little bit of a letdown after we did start pretty positively, but let's see if we can get something going in the later stages of the first half, and then obviously we have players we can bring on off of the bench that could maybe kickstart us if we need later on. A good switch by Phillips there to get us out of where we were getting a little condensed, even though we had passing options. They weren't really advancing the ball for us much. That probably should have been a goal. Great run from the left back spot, but just not able to convert the shot. Good overlap pass to Uejan. Brings it back into Boulter. Zalazar getting it forward. We've moved him into that advanced playmaker spot a little bit more instead of the box to box. I think in general has worked pretty well for us. I think he's versatile enough to play either one. And terrible shot, but again, good movement and getting into those channels to create opportunities. They did a good job there knocking it down and winning the second ball, and then pretty good long shot, but lucky for us, just goes wide of the net. Great diagonal ball back from them, and then great save. That probably should have been 1-0 for them, even though maybe it would have been borderline offside, but really good diagonal ball. That has always been our issue defensively, is avoiding those, but obviously doesn't turn anything in there. This one should turn into a shot for us, but again, just not doing enough to really convert those into the shots on net they should be. 5 shots, a couple of them from good areas, and still nothing getting on target. I think it's fair for us to, even it was a pretty good half against the team above us in the table, concentrate on. We need to get those shots on target. Might have been offside even went in, but again, pretty good movement, getting the chances, but we need to start hitting the net. I think it's probably unlikely that we can hold them to no goals throughout this whole match, just given some of our vulnerabilities and their just strength going forward. Another one that, for them probably should have been on target. We'll obviously take that result, but giving away too many chances. Good job winning the second ball there by Khan. It's probably about time for him to come off, just given that he was a little bit under peak condition coming in. Great run by Matondo. Almost got us the corner, but get a throw in here. Probably give it 5 or 10 more minutes and then look at who we want to bring off. And another shot. I mean, their central defender taking, but still 8 shots in the match and only 1 making on target. And now I think is when we'll look at making our subs. So one just we've had an injury at center back with Kabak not playing, so we'll bring Kaminsky for who's just looks exhausted out there. I think Khan is just as much as I'd like to make a change up here to get some of these underperforming players off. I think We just have to make the change in that central midfield. Could do this maybe and see if just changing positions can help us out. Bring out Harit. Almost paid off for us if we get a good shot on target and then a corner out of it. Looks like we're going to take the short corner here. And then weird choice to go so far back right there. So about 10 minutes left. We'll make our other sub. I think both are still struggling. Quite a few players struggling, but I think we'll go with Scott and see if we can create anything out of the midfield to help us out a little bit. They're not too eventful, especially in the second half, but if we can get out of here with a draw, I think that's right on the. I think that's outside the box and just a free kick, but I guess we'll see what the result is here. Yeah, still pretty good position to hopefully get a good pass in from Salazar. Just not able to keep the header down, maybe pass a little too close to the net. I think it looks like we're just going to get out of here with a draw, which I think for us is fine to keep our unbeaten run going and just get a point from a team that's ahead of us in the table. I think overall, looking at the map, I think looks like we had more of the pressure for a lot of the match, which I think matches what we saw in the highlights. So not too disappointed. Would have liked to put a few more on that, but I think that's a pretty good performance for us. And I think we'll leave it there. We'll come back for a couple more matches next time. Thanks, everyone.